Let's talk about some important scheduling information and really ordering information for your 2023 Ford. So yes, we're going to be talking about the Maverick, but we are going to be talking about other models. Important information that you need to know about, when can you go order one? What should it really look like when you go order one? So a few questions to be asking yourself and the dealer. I want to put some concerns aside, and I want to be talking about at the end what really is scheduling this week and when do things generally schedule. So the whole process of ordering a vehicle, what you need to know so you can do that properly. First of all, let's just start off with dates. When are you going to be ordering these vehicles? Now, you are going to find dates really online, and they just say, hey, this is happening. The Bronco, the Maverick you can go order it on this date. Well, that's a little misleading because first of all, these dates move around. We've seen it with the Bronco, we've seen it with the Maverick. So the dates I'm giving are subject to change, but it's really important to note that some dealers, it's not the end of the world if a dealer tells you, come back, we're not taking pre-orders right now, come back for X date to order. Well, first of all, you should call a day or two in advance to actually see if the date has moved around, so you don't move yourself to that dealership, show up, maybe you've got 40 minutes of road to do, and then find out they just send you home because the date got pushed. So first thing, keep in mind, these dates are subject to change, so verify. Now, if your dealer is telling everyone that they're only going to take new 2023 orders based on the order bank opening dates, that's okay. And that's fine. But then you kind of have to fight for your place. So get an appointment, fight for your place so that you order really early on. Now, personally, I think it's a better idea that a dealer does a pre-order. Now, what's a pre-order? A pre-order is when the dealer is going to base your order off a 2022 Maverick, Ford Ranger, whatever the model may be. If the order banks aren't open for a 2023 yet, well, they can still take a pre-order, but it does mean extra work for that dealer. So basically, and some dealers, certain models have been sold out. The Maverick Hybrid's been sold out since November 15th, 2021, January 27th, 2022 for the EcoBoost. However, some dealers, like my local dealer, continue to take pre-orders. And what does that mean? That means that they take and build you a 2022 with you telling them what you need, what you want. Do keep in mind, important to note that when you build these, do expect 2023 pricing to be about roughly $1,500 more. Don't quote me as that's not an exact number. It's not verified. Ford hasn't given out the price guides yet for Mavericks, but on a Maverick, I do expect somewhere between $1,000 to $2,000 in price increase. So let's say average $1,500. This is an educated guess on my part. I just want you to know the important thing is don't look at that 2022 Maverick price and say that's definitely what I'm getting. Because then if it goes up and you cancel because it went up by, let's say, $1,000, well, then the dealership did lose their time. But they should, I think it's a great idea that they take a pre-order. That way, the morning that the order banks actually do open up, they can send off the work. Now, you're going to have to make it back to that dealership to sign paperwork. Very important. And I'm going to be talking about more about this in the live. So that's the next video coming out after this one. I'm going to be talking about 10 things you need to absolutely ask your dealership, and they absolutely have to have the right answer to. So if you haven't already subscribed, do subscribe, hit that like button so this important information gets out to more people, but you're going to want to subscribe to not miss out that section. Today, it's just a quick little video to talk about, order banks, models, when can we actually order them. So at some dealerships, you can order them anytime, even before the order bank opens up. That would be a pre-order, and that dealer is going to need to have you, they're going to have to re-verify with the changes to the models, because sometimes we lose colors, we add colors, and sometimes the packages change a little. So you're going to need to get back to that dealer and sign few pieces of paper so that they can put in what's called a COVP, Customer Order Verification Process. Extremely important because that's the dealer's way of telling Ford and proving to Ford you're a real client. So you're going to give your driver's license. You're going to sign the webdo. So that's a sheet. It's your build. And you're going to sign that. Also, I think dealers should also have you sign a purchase offer or a lease offer. And you should ask for one anyways. You should make sure you have one. Know that if you sign for a 2022 purchase offer, that when you go in to sign for your 2023, that's your actual price. Make sure that you ask them, ask for a copy, and ask them to sign it. It's very important that they sign it so that you know that's the price you're getting for your 2023. So driver's license, sign the webdo, and then ask to sign a purchase or lease offer, so that way you know that they know that everyone's on board with the fact that they can lock in that interest rate and that price if you get built, as long as you get built as a 2023. You need to ask them, is this price protected? Is this really the price I'm going to pay? So those are the important things, really crucial things that you absolutely have to know going into this whole 2023 ordering game. And this isn't just at Ford. Most popular manufacturers, all popular manufacturers have popular models and they're sold out. So you need to do an order. If a dealer does a pre-order, good, but do make sure that you cover and you do what I just mentioned. If they don't know what customer order verification process is, COVP, you need to look at getting another dealer, because then your order is just going to be treated maybe slightly better than inventory. And these days, Ford is focusing on building not inventory for dealers. They want to build customer orders. And what's the most important thing? Well, it's to build real customer orders, because when it's not COVP, well, Ford doesn't know if it's a real client. Could just be that, random cousin's driver's license. And if you're not verifying the whole price and process, Ford also doesn't know if when the vehicle shows up, if the dealer is going to try to sell it for a whole lot more. And that's a lot harder to do after you've actually signed the webdo. And also when they go through the COVP process, it's the dealership's promise to not lose you as a client. And if they lose more than a certain percentage, they're going to lose out a whole lot more, because they can lose a month's worth of production. So make sure you do get your purchase offer. Really important to know. And if the dealer doesn't take pre-orders, well, set an appointment morning of to go in and put in your order. Now, if you've done a pre-order, do keep in mind the second very, very important item to list and note is that you're going to have to go back and sign for 2023 paperwork, and the whole COVP process needs to be redone for 2023. So dealers, very important that dealers also know that orders that are already in the system, 2022s, Ford's going to duplicate those now. Originally, no, they all have to be reduplicated by hand, but Ford will duplicate those orders, but it's going to be coded 99. So the dealership, this is so that Ford, the factory, doesn't build a vehicle for someone who doesn't want it anymore, or for someone that when it shows up, they go, well, I don't want this, because there's going to be certain changes for the 2023 models. So your dealership, it gets coded 99. So you need to make sure that you get a call from your dealership, send them an email, make them a call once you know that order banks are opening up. If you're a carryover, it doesn't have to be necessarily the morning of, but you do need to re-sign the COVP, and that proves to Ford you still want a vehicle, you're still a real client, and they're not just building this vehicle for dealer inventory so that the dealer can ask a crazy amount more for it, which I think it's great. All this extra work that Ford is doing, all these extra processes are to make sure that they make vehicles for the people who have been waiting for them, that they don't just end up on dealer lots being sold for more. And I've talked about this before, so I'll just very quickly mention that on top of this, Ford is doing a turn and earn system. So when the factory can build a little bit of inventory for the dealership, and just in general, simple rule, the dealerships that sell their vehicles very quickly are gonna get more vehicles. So if they want to sell more vehicles, they need to do COVP, promising to Ford that they're going to sell the vehicle at the right price. You're a real client and they're not going to lose you. Otherwise, big consequences. Secondly, you get more when they get off the lots quickly. So this is going to really help bring down those prices. So I'm really excited about that. Now let's talk about dates. What are the tentative dates so far per model? And then we'll finish it up with, what models got scheduled this week. So you can actually check your emails, hopefully. And if you don't get an email, on a very important side note, if you don't get an email saying, you've got a VIN number, or that, the very first email is saying that your order has been confirmed. Well, that's because then they didn't do the COVP, customer order verification process. Ford doesn't have your email, and your order isn't taken nearly as seriously as one of these, you could say guaranteed orders. So you need to know all that. Now let's quickly talk about dates. So for the Mustang order bank open date so far could change. September 21st. We're going to find out about the whole new upcoming model on the 14th of September. But keep in mind, these 2023s, it's the same model we've got for 2022 with very minor changes. The major changes, that's coming for the 2024 model, probably available next, summer 23 or fall 23. Now, job one date. Job one, as I mentioned them throughout, job one means when they start building the 2023. An order bank open date means the day that the factory opens the doors and says, okay, dealers, give us your orders. So that's why the pre-order has an advantage. Dealers that have pre-orders, they're going to send them all in the first day. So they'll get a good jump, a good head start. Now, and also the dealership, imagine if they just open the doors for a super popular model like the Maverick or, the Bronco, they're going to have more people than they can handle for, weeks, if not the first month or two. Mustang Mach E order bank open date, 8/25/22, so August 25th. So we can now order a 2023 for the Mustang Mach E, and they're going to be doing job one, so they're going to start building them the 31st of October. Now the Bronco Sport, you've got order bank open date, supposed to be August 11th, and they're building those 23s November 14th. The Bronco, supposed to be August 29th, and so far though this date hasn't changed, November 14th, they start building 2023 Broncos. Now they're going to focus, they're just working on the conversions. So right now there's a pause for ordering a new 2023 Bronco because right now they're reserving this time for conversions. Same thing for the Lightning. Now the Ford Edge, August 15th, and they're going to be building those 2023s October 24th. The Expedition, August 15th, building those 23s November 14th. You've got, I'm going to skip over some less popular models like Econoline, Transit. Let's not talk about that because there's a long wait on those either way. Now the Maverick, what pretty much everyone's here for. This is a fleet sheet, and this is what's been going around the internet. I don't feel embarrassed or, awkward, or there's nothing wrong with me sharing this because this is on forums, and I just want to point out that the fleet sheet, it's made just for, fleet customers to know about that are in the process of ordering one particular model, and these dates do move around. We know for the Maverick, originally it was August 15th, then it was the 2nd, and now for the fleet sheet, it's September 15th, but in no way is this a confirmed date for the general public, and the fleet date as well as general public date, obviously they're going to start up at the same time. These do tend to move. So don't put this in your calendar as a concrete definitive date. What Ford is telling publicly is mid-September. So it might be the 15th and it might be, the 18th. Around those dates should be if it doesn't get delayed. Now they're going to be building those 23 Mavericks November 14th. The Ranger, we've got August 5th, and that's when you could order them, and they're going to start building those 23s that you can now order. They're going to start building them the 13th of October. F-150, we can already order 23s, and they're going to start building those 23s. Job one date is October 11th for Dearborn, but November 7th for Kansas City. So depending on what you order, you might actually start getting built more in November. Now, I'm going to skip over the police responders, F-150s. I don't think anyone's ordering those. F-150 Lightning, I mentioned right now, Ford's just working on converting the 22s to 23s. That's currently occurring. So if you have a Lightning and you ordered within the first week, and not order, reserved for the Maverick and the Lightning early on, the process, the very first Broncos too, the process after launch was that you would reserve. But you have to have your reservation converted to an order at a dealer. Now, don't go on the Build and Price website and figure that's how you order a Maverick. That's how you get an idea of what you want to order. You still need to go to the dealer. So this is the fourth piece of must-know information. Don't be fooled. Don't sit around waiting for the Build and Price to pop up for, the Maverick. Because like the F-150, this year, it could be a month or two late. Last year, the Build and Price for the 2022 F-150 was about 2 or 3 months late. It was more late in Canada for the Ford buildandprice.ca website versus the .com, but in both cases, they were late. And when the Build and Price is up and running, you build it on the website, and there's no final process where you say, okay, well, Ford, build that for me. Here's my deposit. So that's not what's going on. You can go on the Build and Price website if you desire, but here's why a pre-order makes sense. As a customer, even once these order banks open up, you still usually don't have the Build and Price on, the first day, and not even the first week, and sometimes not the first month of being able to order the vehicle. The Build and Price isn't ready. So if you wait for that Build and Price, you're going to be late. And the model could even be sold out for the entire year by the time the Build and Price is up and running. Because the Maverick, I wouldn't be surprised if the Maverick sells out within 2 or 3 months. The hybrid will sell out far sooner than the EcoBoost. Maybe the EcoBoost will get back to January, but I think the Maverick last year, it sold out the 15th of November, 2021. I wouldn't be surprised if the Maverick sold out by end of October to best case scenario, end of December. So don't risk waiting for that Build and Price to be up and running. You gotta order it through the dealership, but this Friday is gonna be about finding the right dealership, asking the right questions so that you know whether this is the right dealership or not. Because there's some very bad dealerships and there's some amazing dealerships that give amazing service. And well, what is amazing service? It's when you get really straight, honest service. Everything they say gets done. Nothing less, nothing more. And we'll be talking about what to ask to kind of filter through and filter out the bad dealership so that you end up with being in a good position. I want to make sure everyone is as good, in a best position possible. So we gave out the Maverick dates, Ranger, F-150, Super Duty. I've seen some really simple Super Duty builds that you avoid all the constraints. Yeah, they can show up in 6 months. A really complicated Super Duty order could take a year and a half. So that's a different story for a different day. If you've got questions about that, bring them to the live, which is the next episode. My lives are long. These episodes are meant to be much shorter, information packed. So for the Lincolns, if you got questions about the Lincolns, actually I'll do them super quick. The Corsair, you can now order that 9th month. So sorry, now September 12th, your order bank for the Corsair is open. They're going to start building the 23s the 28th of November. You've got the Nautilus already in business since early August. End of October, the 24th of October, they start building those 23 Nautiluses. The Aviator, cool. We've got the Aviator. We've been ordering 23s for quite some time now, and it's actually since the very end of June 30th, that they've been pumping out those 2023 Aviators. I actually saw one actually show up, so that's proof is in the pudding, as they say. August 15th for the Navigator. That's when you could order one, so you can already order Build and Price, not Build and Price, but you can use the order guide to figure out what options. And they're going to start building those November 14th. Now, for all these vehicles, what do you do when you don't have the Build and Price up and running? Well, you can try on your own using the order guide. You build, you go on the building price for a 2022, have the order guide beside you to see what are the changes. On the first page, they say, we've removed these 2 colors, we've added these 2 or 3 colors, here are the changes, here are the new packages. So that's a really good basic tool to know what's going on. And you can build based on a 2022. When you get to the dealership, well then, because you know the 2022 price, if they try to tell you it's $20,000 more, well, you'll know right away there's some crazy markup going on, and you know you need to get out of there and find a different dealer. Now, there might be some pretty decent questions that came out of this video, so please bring them to the next video, which is a live. It'll be longer. We'll try to cover everyone's questions. Marie will be there to give her impressions and to help with all the questions coming in. So thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe so you don't miss out on really important Ford information. I'm here to help people buy right, get the right price, get the right treatment, and know the must-know information to these models, because it's a little more complicated these days to buy a vehicle. It's not just about showing up on the lot and driving away with the vehicle. So there's some information you need to know, and I'm here to help out. That's what I do. So I'm Johnny at Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, and I want to thank you so much for watching. We're about to hit 10,000 subscribers, which I think is really cool. I really appreciate everyone's support, and I wish everyone a fantastic week, and see you tomorrow in the live.